Hi, I'm Mama Mwana and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about the top 5 big baby purchases that I made. I put a lot of thought and research into making these decisions, and I thought it'd be helpful to share what sort of things I considered when buying these big baby purchases. Now, there are only 5 items that I've listed here. There's a lot of others on the market, but if you'd like to know what I considered and why I think that these are the most important, then please keep watching. Let's get started.
So the first of the products that I would recommend that you buy as a big purchase for your baby is a breast pump. And there's a caveat. If you plan on being a breastfeeding mom or somebody who provides their breast milk, and that could be pumping, because pumping is breastfeeding too. But I highly recommend that you invest in yourself and get a breast pump of some form. I actually have a couple different options, and I'm showing you just one. This is my oldest electric pump. It's a Spectra S1, and I'm not going to go too much into detail. I have it plugged in to show that it has some cool features like a nightlight here, suction, speed changing options, and the great thing about this pump is that it's rechargeable and you can just unplug it and take it on the go. I can't tell you how many times that I've used this pump on the road. I've literally used it in the airport, I've used it in my car. There's so many ways that I benefited from having an electric pump because I was nursing, and I was also and I was also working, and so that meant that I had to express my milk to then later provide to my baby. And an electric pump gets the job done because in some cases you can actually be hands-free, where you don't have to actually hold the bottles or whatever devices that you're using. And there's really, really great new ones. In fact, one that I'm really excited to share when it arrives. I've ordered an LV Stride, and so I get to experience having a more hands-free version of a breast pump. But as a starter, this was great. This was fantastic. I mean, there's so many different ways that I benefited from having this pump, and I'll share that in a future video about breastfeeding products. But until then, I would highly recommend that of your big purchases, that you set aside some money for a breast pump, and specifically an electric pump. You can get manual pumps, and I have one and I use it actually for even things like expressing colostrum, which I've been doing for the first few weeks before my baby is born. But an electric breast pump is a critical purchase. So the next big purchase that I would recommend buying for your baby would be a lounger or a nest of some sort. This is a Dockatot Deluxe, and I brought this with me from the United States. Typically these retail for about $150 if I'm not wrong. I'm going to put the price on the screen. But I was lucky in that I actually found this thrifted. And so I spent a grand total of $10 on the Dockatot Deluxe. And then if you include the cost of this cover that I bought here, it comes with you can buy lots of different accessories for your Dockatot Deluxe. This cover retailed for about $15, so it's actually more expensive than the lounger itself, which I think is a big win. I think that this is a really great investment because this is basically a bed for your baby, and it goes anywhere. You can put it on your own bed, and it keeps babies safe from like rolling over if they're at that age. This can go on, it can go on the couch while you're watching TV, doing whatever it is that you're doing. And you can also take this with you to visit family and friends and know that you have a safe place to put your baby should they need to rest somewhere on the go. I plan on taking this with me to the United States when I visit my mom and dad, because although they have a crib, it's just nice to not have to take your pack and play or your bassinet and have to haul it up and down stairs or around the house. You can just use something as simple as this. This comes with great padding. This cover has actual handles, so it's really easy to carry. And what I love about this is that the cover and the other cover, the original cover that comes with this Dockatot, is washable, and so you're safe from stains. You can put like other sheets and blankets and things here inside, but this is cozy and comfy and perfect to put baby in. And I highly recommend this as like a travel bed option, and is the most mobile option to use as a traveling mom. So again, the Dockatot Deluxe or any other lounger or nest that you can use as a mobile bed for baby.
The third product that I recommend that you invest in is a good quality, high chair. Now here you can see I invested in a high chair that had a lot of different options for me to configure in terms of where my baby would be eating. So the first thing you'll notice here is that this high chair comes with a harness option. So a lot of babies and toddlers are wiggly. They don't always want to sit down for a meal, so that's always convenient. And then it has this table attachment that you just slide onto. It kind of slides directly onto the chair, and voila, you have a high chair. Now, one of the neatest things is that this little table attachment is really easy to wash and clean. You can pop off just the top of it and wash it off in a jiffy, or you can just wash the whole table attachment, which is what I did often because, you know, babies get messy. Now, I highly recommend that you get a high chair that actually configures in different ways, because sometimes it's good to have your babies eat in different settings. So there you can put the high chair like up next to the table. But what I really like about this one is you can see here, I'm taking apart the legs from the second half of the high chair, and this becomes a really cool table and chair set. And you can use it for eating, but you can also use it for more than just eating. So you see here, here's the table and here's the chair. You can have the baby eat there while you are at the table and you're eating with them, lower to the ground. You can pop off the attachment for the table and pull the chair directly up to the secondary table, and that could be a great place for them to complete activities, eating, whatever it is that you want them to do. We even did reading, but I really liked having this option of having flexibility because it made it more interesting for baby to eat and play. Now, to put it back together, it's really easy. You just line up the legs on the 4 little sockets that are on the top of the table, push down, and voila, you have your high chair back again. This is mobile. It's easy to take apart. It's so easy to wash. Everything that comes on this table, you can take apart and wash every single part, so it doesn't get messy permanently. And I highly recommend having a high chair that is flexible.
So for this purchase, I actually don't have something to show you right away because it's not actually put together. When our firstborn baby was born, we just used a pack and play for a crib for a while, just because you could pull it up to the bed, you could move it around from place to place, and it was nice to have something that was mobile and small and safe for our baby to use. But then we looked into getting cribs, and we were blessed that we had in-laws who had kids who were outgrowing their cribs. And by cribs, I mean they had these transitioning cribs, which is what I want to recommend today. I recommend that you invest in a crib that's going to grow with your baby. So most cribs have the option of going from a higher level to a lower level, and that's great because you want to be able to, put your baby in on the lower level when they're young, and then put them on the higher level when they're young, and then move it to the lower level so that when they're a bit older, when they're standing, they will be able to climb out of the crib. And these 2 levels are great, and this is good for maybe the first year or so of your baby's life, but then you have to start thinking beyond a crib, and your child might outgrow crib and need to move into a toddler bed. So instead of investing in a crib and then a separate toddler bed, you can actually buy a transitioning crib. I'm going to input pictures of the ones that we have. I believe it's an IKEA bed. I forgot the name of the model, but it's fantastic. It's beautiful. It's neutral, so I can use it with any gender. And that's exactly what we actually ended up doing. We kept this crib, which we used with our firstborn, and our firstborn has since transitioned into their own full-size, twin-size bed, whatever size you want to go with. But we can then take the crib and make it a crib again and use it for this baby, and it will grow with this baby until this baby is then ready to transition into a full-size bed. And I recommend that you invest in a crib that's going to grow with you, so that way you have some flexibility, and you can also reuse the crib over and over again. You don't have to get rid of it, and invest in a new bed or a new piece. And again, it's something that we love and that we plan on reusing for future babies.
My final recommendation for a big purchase for you and baby is a high quality travel system. Now, my husband and I used to have a travel system, meaning a stroller and a car seat, that was great. It was the Graco brand, and it worked for us for the first year or so that we had our baby. It was nice because you could snap on the car seat and take it off really easily, and so traveling was made a breeze because you didn't have to carry separate pieces, like one person carries one and one person carries the other. You just snap it into each other and it works. But we decided to invest in a stroller system that would accommodate more than one child and lots of different changing needs. You can see here I have a bassinet attachment on the top and a toddler seat on the bottom. And what I love about this stroller system is that it changes with your children. So you can have toddler and infant pieces together. You can have toddler and toddler pieces together. And what's also not shown is that there's like a kickboard attachment that attaches, it kind of drags along the bottom, kind of like a little skateboard. And you can have a third child standing on the edge. And this stroller carries 3 children and all their stuff. Now, admittedly, this is a big stroller. It's not a compact, lightweight one, but it's one that my husband and I decided we needed because we knew we'd be traveling with children and all of the stuff that goes with them to long distances, like on flights. And so this was an investment that we made because we knew that we would need to have the space and the flexibility to take kids with us in long distances. Now, this stroller system is called the Uppababy Vista system, and it's quite expensive in the United States. I believe if you look at the cost brand new of all of the pieces, the stroller, the seats, and the accessories that come with it, it's something over $2,000 US. We did not pay that at all. I thrifted as much of this as I possibly could because I knew that these pieces were still just as good used, and a lot of people love to upgrade or have to get rid of all of their baby gear when they're done, and it has a lot of life in it. So we chose to make the investment in a travel system that had lots of pieces that we could configure in different ways because we knew we'd be traveling and we'd carry a whole bunch of things. I highly recommend that you do your part to do your research to find a travel system that works for you, for your changing needs. Maybe you want something that grows with your family like I did. And you can find a lot of different brands here in Kenya as well. I will try to include some brands that I find of something similar, and hopefully maybe there's a place that you can source an Uppababy Vista if that's what you'd like to do. But again, a high quality travel system is perfect for a family that travels. So you can have your car seat pieces and your stroller pieces, you have the basket and other accessories, and you don't have to worry about having separate things to carry on your back when this stroller can carry it all and do it all. So those are my recommendations. I hope you liked it. Please like, comment, and subscribe to this channel. Tune in for the next video. And as always, love, love, love.